Hey guys, welcome back to Blue Ridge Silverhound. Hope everyone's doing well. And I wanted to talk about an error coin, specifically this 1971D, which is a highlight of the error portion of the upcoming World's Fair of Money ANA auction through Heritage Auctions. And these coins, for as long as I've seen them and known about them, number one, I've never owned one. I've always wanted one. And I feel like every time I go to try and buy one, the price keeps getting higher and higher. But I wanted to kind of like draw your attention to where the coin collecting market is now. Okay, it is kind of in a bear market. And the coin market coincides with the precious metal prices. Okay, so if precious metal prices are good, the coin collecting market in general is going to be hot and heavy and really good. Kind of like where it was during the recession. Well, we're not in a recession right now, so people don't have quite the need for, you know, some of the mid to mid-high grade coins. You know, the stuff that's like between $1,000 and $10,000, which is why the prices on these things have been going down. But there are a few coins, okay, specifically in the error portion of coin collecting, where these coins have not only held steady, but they're creeping up in value, which is a complete counterpoint to the rest of the general coin market. All right, the 71D Kennedy half dollar, which looks like it was filed down to something a lot smaller, it isn't really deceiving your eyes. Okay, this particular coin is a 71D Kennedy struck on a 5 gram 5 cent planchet, you know, made and intended for a Jefferson nickel. These things are so incredibly radical in nature, because you know you have a coin that was intended for one size, and then when you see it on a lot smaller, it really gives you a lot of pause, you know. And it's a great conversation starter, and it's with those different variables that these coins are highly regarded and highly sought after. I was actually talking to a buddy of mine, his name's Dennis. He's an error collector. He's really not too much in the market of buying and flipping, but he has been collecting these specific coins, the off-struck, you know, on a different planchet size error types, for about the last 5 years. And when I talked to him a couple days ago, he had mentioned that this is one of the coins that I feel like it's going up in price like 5–10% a year. I'm like, you gotta be kidding me. You know, it just doesn't seem, you know, like it makes that much of sense, especially for a coin that's kind of in that modern realm of coin collecting. And number two, it's error collecting. But he had mentioned that he generally, he said before about 2011, 2012, he had lots of success buying these. He buys maybe 2 or 3 a month. Now he has a hard time finding them at all, you know, for a reasonable price. And he said he just doesn't feel like paying through the nose. So I asked him, I'm like, where are people finding these type of coins? And he said, well, there is a guy that he deals with who has pretty deep pockets that goes out of his way to buy the Fed Reserve bags of solid BU coins. And sometimes he'll go through there and find some of these off-struck coins, and he would sell them. In fact, he would buy them raw, but he knew what he was looking for. There is always the chance, you know, and it's kind of a risky move to buy these raw anyways, because what's going to prevent one person from actually taking in a genuine 1971 half dollar and then filing it down and then putting their own reeds in there and so on and so forth. I don't think this coin has any reading because, you know, it was small and struck on a 5 gram nickel planchet. But he said, well, you know, there are just some diagnostics. Okay, the coin looks like it's stretched out like Gumby in certain areas. And you know, that's primarily one of the diagnostics to locating something like this. And he happened to mention if it was struck on a press with a with the collar that's sized for a Kennedy half dollar, that you would get partial reading on there. So he said those are a few telltale signs. But I also asked him, what's the likelihood that something like this will come up in pocket change? And he mentioned, well, there have been a few instances where some of the lesser, he said he alluded to it as being the lesser quality of coin, and he brought up the nickel struck on a cent planchet as being one of those. He said a few of those have come up in pocket change, and they're an easy sell in a few $100 range, even if they're, you know, circulated and brown, because it's going to look like a nickel, only on a zinc coated planchet, or a copper coated zinc planchet. And he says it's not out of the possibility that these pop up in pocket change. So there you go. The coin right now is one of the top errors in the World's Fair of Money auction through Heritage. And if you guys wanted to check it out, it's auction number 4927. This is going to be one of the highlight coins that's going to sell here in the next 10 days. And again, it's a 1971D, graded by NGC, more so for the authentication piece of it and less about the grade. It is a Mint State 64, so it's not a blaze buster of type of grade on there. And yeah, this is a coin that they're saying will end, you know, for a few $1,000s by the time it's all said and done. Which my friend Dennis had said, well, yeah, it's up about 30% from about 5 years ago, which is just kind of like proof positive that these things are creeping up in value. But anyways, it's a really neat error. You know, maybe it's something that might pop up in pocket change. I'm not sure. I've heard on a few instances through Facebook groups that these have come up, but again, it's going to be more of the nickel on cent planchet, and let's see, what's the other one? I think the quarter struck on a nickel planchet also comes up on occasion. And yeah, it's pretty neat when stuff like this still comes up in pocket change or coin roll hunting. It might be a long shot odds type thing, but you know, it's always good to know that you know, good to know exactly what you're looking for when it comes to stuff like this. And like most other error coins, people do counterfeit them. So just simply grading them through Annex to get the certification in line, because this could be your cheapest route, probably not a bad idea if you're looking to resell it and making money and so on and so forth. So I appreciate you guys' time. Go ahead and hit like if you enjoy the content today. And yeah, Blue Ridge Silverhound, if you haven't subbed, the button is going to be at the end of the video here. And yeah, keep on hunting, guys, and I'll talk to you soon. Take care.